From a terror attack in New Orleans to wildfires in LA, the deadly plane crash in DC, and now the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So many alarming headlines this year, and a lot of it can have a huge impact on our kids. So what can we do to help keep them feeling safe? ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel and parenting expert Bethany Braun-Silva both joining me now to give us their insights and tips. We were having this conversation before we came on the air, but Dr. Patel, I'd like to come to you first. How can these constant events have a mental health impact on our children?
You know, with children, all of us thrive best with routine, with security, with knowing that our day-to-day is going to be protected. And all these headlines, these mental images can absolutely threaten that, especially in little children. Because what happens is in those little brains is they may see something such as a headline or hear a story, perceive that as a threat. And then if their security is not reassured, if they don't know what to make of that situation, that then goes to the part of the brain that kind of elicits this fight or flight response. And it can release all these stress hormones. Now, acutely, this can cause fear, anxiety, a stress response, but over time, this can be what scientists and pediatricians call toxic stress that can absolutely have a negative impact on childhood.
And Bethany, we were discussing earlier, I have two middle school girls, and I found out that videos of that killing were circulating amongst their friend groups, and it's extremely alarming as a parent that your child could be exposed to something like that. How are we supposed to respond to their questions? How do we talk to them about this? How do we talk to them about avoiding things like that?
Yeah, for younger kids, we're going to want to keep it honest but age appropriate. Like Dr. Patel said, we're not going to want to overload them with information or graphics, so make sure that TV is off, you know, during dinner time and things like that. And then for the teens, I was in the same boat. My son came home having already seen the video, so it's less about shielding them, and it then sort of pivots to more about helping them answer those questions about processing the emotions that they're feeling. Less about the information about what they saw, but how is it making them feel? Are you angry? Are you scared? And then helping them navigate through those emotions so that they can come from a better place of confidence and, you know, self-regulation to handle that when it inevitably happens again.
And with social media, our kids are just exposed to so much now, and as a parent, we don't have control to a certain degree. Dr. Patel, so what are some signs that our kids may be experiencing distress when these events unfold?
You know, as Bethany mentioned, giving kids these coping strategies is so incredibly important because we're trying to prevent them from their bodies having these overt signs. But in some situations, the stress response can almost feel instantaneous. And if those stress hormones, such as cortisol, adrenaline, kind of flow throughout their bodies, this can lead to changes in sleep, behavior, even physical symptoms such as headaches, stomach aches. In older kids, this may manifest as changes in school or academic performance or feeling withdrawn from friends. And sometimes these responses might actually be seen before children even talk about what they're feeling or what they're scared about. And we're talking about all this in response to media images and headlines. Imagine what it's like for children who are living these situations, who are living in neighborhoods that aren't as safe or have been around a mass shooting. We have to collectively be doing a lot better for our kids.
Exactly. And Bethany, you also say how important it is for parents to manage their own reactions so that the kids can feel safe and secure.
Emotional regulation is so important for parents. And that doesn't mean not feeling anything, but it means about understanding your emotions. And the best way to kind of model that for your kids is to narrate it in real time. I'm feeling anxious about what I'm seeing, so I'm going to turn it off. Or I'm feeling scared, so let's go take a walk as a family. So again, it teaches them that there's a place for every emotion, but the next step is how do we move through it and process it together as a family so that our kids can have some buy-in, they can feel safe. And again, reestablishing those safeties, those routines at home is going to be so important when the outside world feels really, really uncertain.
And just a quick follow-up question on that, because we were talking about social media too. I know that we can't control everything, but are there some tips that you might have that can at least try to prevent some of these images from getting through? Or can we be proactive, I guess, maybe if we know an event happened and talking to our kids before they see something?
You know, it was an interesting thing with the Charlie Kirk shooting is that happened when kids were at school. So then, yes, parents are left with a little bit less control than perhaps they would want. So immediately when you get home, you're going to take that phone, go through it together, go through maybe the text messages that are, circulating among your child's friends, friend group. And again, just keep reassuring them that you are there to talk about whatever they're feeling. We don't want to, even in the most well-meaning parents who say, you don't need to worry about that, go play, that can create a feeling of more anxiousness and more isolation. So just keep reassuring your kids that you are there. And of course, you do want to have a handle and a monitor on what they're doing on those phones.
Exactly. Bethany Braun-Silva, so great to talk to you as always. Really appreciate it.